What's happening in your voice when you make the sound like you're condescending someone? Try it. Oh, you did that all by yourself? Or maybe when you're showing someone a lot of empathy and you're apologizing to them. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. Or when you think a video on the internet is really cute, like a baby sloth, and you say, oh my God, it's so cute. That is so cute. Or when you're whining to your mom and like pretending to be like a little kid and you say, oh mom, oh mom. Or maybe you're complaining, that's not fair. Feel what happens in your larynx. We can contrast this with the feeling of what it is just to sit and breathe in a relaxed way. Let's do that for a minute. Your thyroid cartilage, which is the first bump in your throat, in its vertical position is when we're just in our neutral, breathing quietly, sitting in front of Netflix position. It also might be vertical when we speak like we're bored. I'm bored. Meh, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. I'm over it. Yeah. Try some of these phrases and these ideas to help to feel the difference between your thyroid cartilage in its tilted position and then your thyroid cartilage in its vertical position. Let's practice with the days of the week. Tilt the thyroid cartilage for the first 3 days and then bring it to vertical for the rest of the week. Okay, so we do tilt, set up in the silence, and set up in the breath. We might breathe into that tilt. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we get really bored for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's do that again. Tilting on the in-breath. Feel like you're getting ready for that empathy or that flirt or that sadness or oh my God, it's so cute for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then relax. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now let's do the opposite. Vertical for the first 3 days of the week and then tilted for the rest. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you notice that your pitch is changing when you go from vertical to tilt, that's okay. When the thyroid cartilage tilts, sometimes it brings the true vocal folds along with it because the true vocal folds are inside the thyroid cartilage. So when the thyroid cartilage tilts, the true vocal folds become thinner. And when our true vocal folds become thinner, they're attracted to vibrating at a higher frequency, which is going to potentially change the pitch, but it doesn't have to. So you would work towards being able to keep the consistent pitch. Let's play with that. We're going to do the vowel E. So sound a long E with a vertical thyroid cartilage. You're really bored. E. If you're a singer, this might be really tricky for you. No vibrato, no sing-songy sound, just sounding the vowel E. E. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to abruptly shift to tilt. So we're going to do E. Again, vertical, and then abruptly shifting into tilt. E. You might notice that vibrato creeps in at the end, and that's okay. Vibrato is associated with thyroid cartilage tilting. Try again, vertical, E. Allow yourself vibrato, that's fine. Okay, now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go thyroid cartilage tilt to begin with, and then releasing that effort into vertical. Okay, ready? tilt in the silence before the sound. Feel the muscular effort. E, abruptly vertical. E, again. E. You can do this on any sound or any note that is comfortable for you. So different sounds might be different vowels. Might also be different true vocal fold body covers. So let's try it with a slack fold. So we could do E. That's fun. Try again, starting vertical and going into tilt with a slack fold. E. Let's bring this over to the piano. Thyroid cartilage tilt is a really great strategy for us to go from the lower parts of our range into the higher parts of our range. We're going to begin the lower part of the octave with vertical, and then we're going to choose to tilt the thyroid cartilage as we go up. Okay, and we begin. Vertical on E. E, 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 and now we tilt. E, 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 E. Back down. E, 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 E. Vertical. E, 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 E. Good job. Okay. Let's go up one. Vertical. E, 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 E. Tilt. E, 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 E. Tilt. E, 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 E. Vertical. E, 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 E. Go up one. Vertical. E, 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 and tilt. E, 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 E. Whimper. E, 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 E. Good job. One more. Vertical. E, 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 E. Of course, you can tilt and your thyroid cartilage at any point on the scale. This is a great training strategy for singers because it helps us to use the fact that the thyroid cartilage might raise the pitch to our advantage to help us to raise the pitch. Okay, good job.